Welcome back to Ghost Asian Channel. My friends, have you ever had a dream that kept coming back, night after night, until you could barely sleep anymore? And then, one day, that dream led you to a dark secret buried deep in reality. Tonight, let me tell you about one of the most haunting cases in modern China. A case that left even the police shaken. A murder with no witness, no body, no clue, until the victim's sister started dreaming of him, drenched in blood, begging for justice. And those dreams, those terrible, recurring nightmares, led investigators straight to the place where his body was buried, deep under the cold earth of Changbai Mountain. It all began in mid-June 2008, in a quiet, remote village at the foot of Changbai Mountain. One early morning, a woman named Liu Xiaolin was stacking firewood when something caught her eye. It was a shirt, stained, stiff, dark red with dried blood. Police were called immediately. Forensics confirmed the shirt belonged to Zhang Yangcheng, a young man from the village who had been missing for a week. But there was something strange about it. The shirt was soaked in blood, yet there wasn't a single tear, not a single hole. No sign of a struggle. No clue of what happened. The last time anyone saw Yang Cheng was the evening of June 11. He had been working with Liu Xiaolin, his longtime business partner, preparing a shipment of wood they were supposed to deliver the next morning. Everything seemed normal. No argument, no strange noise. But the next morning, Yang Cheng never showed up. At first, Liu Xiaolin thought he had overslept, then got annoyed, loaded the wood herself, and went to the market. But after days passed with no sign of him, his house locked, his phone unanswered, her annoyance turned into dread. Police launched a search. Not far from Yang Cheng's home, they noticed a patch of earth that looked recently disturbed. They dug. Beneath the dirt, they found sand soaked with blood. DNA testing confirmed it was Yang Cheng's blood. But his body was gone. Without a body, the police couldn't even prove he was dead. It could have been an accident, an animal attack, anything. The investigation stalled. Then something unexpected happened. Yang Cheng's older sister, Zhang Yan, walked into the police station, pale and shaken. She said that for several nights in a row, she had been having the same dream. In her dream, her younger brother stood before her, his body covered in blood, his face pale, crying, "Big sister, they hurt me, they stabbed me, they buried me somewhere far away." At first, Zhang Yan thought it was just a nightmare, but the dream kept coming back, night after night, and each time it felt more vivid, more real. Finally, she tried calling her brother's phone. It rang and rang, but no one answered. A cold dread gripped her heart. She knew something was terribly wrong. She went straight to the police. Of course, no one truly believed in dream revelations. But since the investigation had no leads, the police decided to humor her and let her guide them. And that's when things turned eerie. As they trekked through the wilderness, Zhang Yan walked with strange certainty, as though she had been there before. Through thorny bushes, over uneven hills, she never hesitated. Finally, she stopped at an empty clearing, about 20 meters from the railway line. Her voice trembled. "This is it. This is where he told me his body was buried." The officers looked at each other. It sounded insane, but they ordered a dig. Shovels hit the earth. 1 meter, 2 meters, and then the smell hit them. The stench of death. As they dug deeper, a human form slowly emerged from the soil. It was Zhang Yangcheng. Even the seasoned officers froze for a moment. The body bore 13 stab wounds. One of them pierced the heart, a fatal strike. The pattern of wounds told a chilling story. The killer had been consumed with rage, stabbing again and again, long after the victim was dead. The case had just turned from a missing person investigation into a full-scale homicide, but Zhang Yan's uncanny ability to lead them to the exact burial site raised another question. How did she know? Could she have been involved? Police briefly considered her a suspect, but after careful investigation, they found she had never been near Changbai Mountain before, and everyone confirmed she and her brother were extremely close. She had no motive. Attention turned to Liu Xiaolin, the last person to see Yang Cheng alive, but she had a solid alibi. She never left her house that night. Then came a discovery. Police learned that Liu Xiaolin and Yang Cheng were closer than business partners. They were having an affair. Liu Xiaolin was married to a man named Gu Dahai, a railway worker, and the burial site, very close to the tracks where he worked. Was this a crime of passion? Had the husband found out and killed Yang Cheng in a jealous rage? When confronted, Gu Dahai was stunned. He didn't even know his wife was cheating, and that night he had been on shift. Dozens of co-workers confirmed his alibi. So if not him, who? Digging deeper into Liu Xiaolin's past, investigators found she had another lover before Yang Cheng, a man named Han Shikyang, and Han was known to be obsessively possessive, even aggressive. He had shown up at her house, uninvited more than once, even while her husband was home. When Liu Xiaolin ended the relationship, Han reportedly became furious. Then a witness came forward. The night Yang Cheng disappeared, someone saw Han borrowing a small truck. The next day, he returned it freshly washed. Forensics tested the truck. Tiny specks of blood remained in the crevices. They matched Yang Cheng's DNA. Police laid a trap. They spread a rumor that Gu Dahai had been arrested for the murder. 2 days later, just as they expected, Han Shikyang returned to the village. Nervous, panicked, he was immediately taken into custody. Under intense interrogation, he broke. He confessed everything. That night, he had seen Yang Cheng leaving Liu Xiaolin's house. Blinded by jealousy, rage took over. He grabbed a knife and attacked, stabbing Yang Cheng again and again. 13 times until the man collapsed, lifeless. Then, under the cover of darkness, he buried the body, certain that no one would ever find it. If it hadn't been for Shang Yan's terrifying dreams, he might have been right. The case might have gone cold. When the court sentenced Han Zhiqiang to death, the entire village felt a grim sense of relief. But the most chilling question remained. How did Shang Yan know where her brother was buried? Was it just coincidence? Or was it really her brother's spirit reaching out to her from the other side? Tonight, when you go to sleep, if you dream of someone calling your name, don't ignore it, because sometimes the dead are not done speaking.